You got a double turn against Punjab, then followed it up with another 100 that helped Karnataka to salvage a draw. Obviously, Karnataka couldn't go to the next round, but you took them to a draw. So a little more about your maiden first last turn, about how you felt, and a little more about those two knocks.
Sir, I think my first 100. I mean, it felt really special to get it at home in Chinnaswamy Stadium, and I think the situation after the 5 games of Ranji Trophy was that we had to win both the games with a bonus point. So after getting Punjab 55 all out, I think I knew that it was only a one inning game because we had to get the bonus point. So a double hundred was never in my mind. I just wanted to just bat and bat and bat, and I'm glad that I got 100 first, and then I knew that once I got 100 and I'm batting well, so I can convert it into a bigger score. So I'm glad that I got a double hundred and in front of the home crowd, so felt special.
Yeah, a little more about that knock against Haryana as well. I understand on the final day, Karnataka had no chance of going to the next round, but wickets were falling at the other end. Like how you were able to kind of wade through that tricky situation.
So I think the plan was right when the fourth day started in the morning. The plan was just to bat till tea, so that it would give us a better chance of closing down the game and not giving Haryana an opportunity to chase whatever total we had set as a target, to give them as little time as possible. That was the plan, and the wicket was good to bat. I felt it was just keeping slightly low, but apart from that, I felt it was good to bat. So I just took my time, looked to spend as much time as possible on the crease, didn't worry about the runs, and just tried to bat normal. And before I knew it, I was batting on 70, 80. So I knew that I could get 100. And more than getting 100, it was about spending time at the crease and not giving them a chance to bat again. So I'm glad that I ended things off in a good note.
Also, a little bit about that Vijay Hazare trophy, which obviously Karnataka went on to win. Right in the nick of time, you got those runs in the semi-final as well as in the final. Obviously, the situations were also different. In the semi-final, I guess Karnataka were chasing down a total on a slightly tricky wicket, and then the final, Karnataka needed to get a massive score. So, can you say a little more about those two knocks, about Karnataka winning the Vijay Hazare trophy?
So I think, as you mentioned, in the semifinals, it was a tricky wicket to chase down 240 odd runs. I think I had a very experienced batsman on the other side, Devdutt, who had just come back from Australia. So he was guiding me a lot in terms of how the wicket was playing and what shots were on. And I felt that it was just a matter of one partnership between him and me to take the team through. And I again looked to spend some time out in the middle because the target was not that high, and I knew that once I got going on any wicket, I could accelerate and get the team through. So I'm glad that we won that game, the semis. And again, about the finals, I think again we were in a slightly tricky spot at 60, 65 or 67 for three. But seeing the wicket initially, it was very good wicket to bat, and I knew that once we got off to a good start, we had to get a good total on board in order to defend it. And I think it was a very important partnership between me and Srijit out there in the middle to get us to a very important total, and even with Abhinav Manohara right at the end to get to the total which we got to. And it was a very special moment getting 100 in the final. But more than getting 100 in the final, it was really nice to get the trophy back home for Karnataka after 5 years. So I think the greatest moment was that getting the trophy back home.
Yes. There's two more questions related to it. What was it about that wicket in the semi-final? Was it stopping a bit on the batter, or was it turning a bit? If you can just describe it a little bit.
I think it was just a little slow, sir. It was keeping slightly low. There was not much bounce on the wicket, and it was a little slow for the spinners. So we knew that there were very limited shots on the wicket, and we had to rotate strike more than getting boundaries and sixes. We had to rotate strike and keep the scoreboard ticking. So both me and Devdutt, we planned which bowler to take on and when we could take them on. And before we knew it, we were getting 6-7 runs in an over in the middle. So from there, it was just about finishing off the game for Karnataka.
You talked about limited shots. Can you just, if you can, elaborate it a little more? Like what kind of shots?
So I think, yeah, I think more on the front foot, more playing in the V towards long off and long on, and playing with the spin and not against the spin. So there was no cut shot was not on in the wicket because there was not much bounce. So more often than not, just on the front foot drives and mainly drives. We were planning to play most of the shots on the front foot. So that was the plan between us.
Behind the scenes, this is on a light-hearted tone. Behind the scenes, if you want to share something about the celebrations that took place, if you have any memory, fond memory of Karnataka winning.
So I think we got greeted at the airport. Once we came back to Bangalore, I think huge thanks to KSCA for showing up at the airport, and they flowered us with garlands, and the mood at the camp was really, everyone was happy that we got the trophy back home. So that was one fond memory.
Okay. Little more about that Vijay Hazare trophy. I guess you also got 100 against Puducherry, and there's also a game against Mumbai. Obviously, you didn't get the chance to bat, but how was it? The feeling like watching Karnataka chase down some 373 against Mumbai.
So I think that game set the tone for us for the rest of the tournament. I think Mumbai had come fresh off the championship. Syed Mushtaq Ali, they had won the championship, so it was not going to be an easy task for us to beat them. But just the way Srijit, Anish, and Praveen Dubey batted and chased down that total was outstanding. I felt. I mean, scoring 380 runs against any opposition on any wicket is a really tough task to do, and just the maturity that all the guys in the team showed to chase down that total was amazing. And after that, we had the belief that we could go on and win the championship as well.
Okay, a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken, you also went through a kind of lean patch. If you can just elaborate how you overcame that particular phase, or how you were able to paddle through that phase.
So I think I think this was during under-19 where I didn't get picked for the under-19 World Cup. I felt disheartened that I couldn't be part of that squad. But again, put things into place, put things into perspective in terms of what I had to improve in my game. And I immediately I worked with a coach over here back in Bangalore, so I immediately started hitting the nets, and I knew what aspects of my game I had to improve on. And I had an off season of about 1 or 2 months where I put in a lot of hard work in the gym as well as in the nets, be it nets or drills. And the next season, I got a lot of runs in the Karnataka's first division league, and I'm glad that I worked hard during that period, and it paid off.
You said what I had to improve on. So was it just related to, say, gym work, or maybe technical aspect of your game, or maybe even mental aspect of your game? If you can just explain it a little more.
So I think as any sports person, we would always look to get stronger at the gym. So gym is one thing that I worked on, obviously, during that period. Technique wise, I felt I got my bat lift down a little from before. I had a high bat lift before, so I felt that I was chasing a lot of balls outside off. So that was one aspect of the game I worked on during that period. And mental aspect, I just worked on staying strong and staying level-headed while playing. And that's it.
Okay. You also have done well in the Maharaja Trophy. Especially, I saw that 100 against Mysore. I was there at the stadium. So, any knock that you remember fondly, or a little more about that knock as well, or anything else, any other knock that you remember fondly from Maharaja Trophy?
So from Maharaja Trophy, I think that knock would stand out. I think that's very that's a very fond knock because we were chasing, I think, around 200 odd runs, and I think we had lost quick couple of wickets. So to chase down that kind of a total, especially in a last ball finish, is something that everyone would ask for. So I'm glad that more than the 100 that I got, I'm glad that we could get off to a winning start because we had won the first game and we had lost the next two games. So it was important for us to get back to winning ways,
Mm.
and the 100 was just the icing on the cake.
Okay, let's revisit your childhood days. Like, can you just take us through your cricketing career, right from the time when, say, you took up cricket or how you took up cricket? Any specific memories if you have to share?
So I started my cricketing journey in the layout I stay right now in JP Nagar. At the age of 8, my mum put me at the local academy that was taking place in the layout, and it just started from there. A lot of fond memories from childhood. I think there were a lot of local tournaments that we played together in and around Bangalore, and a lot of memories. Can't pinpoint to exactly one memory, but just spending, just reliving those childhood days is a great memory.
Okay, you still want to share any cricket related cherished memory from that time? Like maybe even it could be an innings or maybe your parents presented your first bat. It could be something as simple as that.
Um, So I think there was this tournament called VCA Cup, which was played in Jayanagar, and there were many editions of this tournament that were taking place, and many good teams around in and around Bangalore were participating in it. And I think the first edition of the tournament we had lost in the finals, and in the second edition, all the whole team was determined to win that
Mm.
tournament because so all of us were excited to play under lights, and the first edition we had lost. So the second edition we won in a very close game in the final, and lifting the trophy with my coach and all my teammates is a very fond memory.
Okay. A little more about your childhood coaches. I mean, if you want to share how they helped you to nurture your game.
So I started my cricketing journey. Yeah. So I started my cricketing journey in the layout. His my coach. His name is Syed Zabiullah, and he's been my mentor, my coach. I would consider him as a family member as well. He's been very instrumental in shaping my game, not only in terms of technique, in terms of my mental aspect as well. And I still go to him for any batting advice or just advice about life. And I still go to him and train under him. So he's one coach. And apart from him, I would also a lot of coaches have been in my life. I think huge thanks goes out to Sunil Shankar sir, Raj Shekhar sir, Deepak sir, and a lot of them too who have been a part of my journey.
Here again, just trying to expand it. If there is any specific cherished memory, if you want to share during practice session or during that session, if you just want to share. Hello, hello.
So no, I mean,
Yeah,
not that I
that's
can
fine.
think
That's
about
fine.
anything as
That's
of
fine.
now.
That's
Hello.
fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, taking it from there. Still a little more about your, how you came to the junior ranks. If you want to share to the under 19 ranks or the age group ranks.
So I think so as you start cricket, I think the first stage that everyone goes through is under 14 state. So I played under 14 state, and we were runners up, I think. Yeah, we were runners up in the South Zone tournament that we play. And then from then onwards, I kept playing all the age group for Karnataka, under 16, under 19. And then last year, under 23, we won the CK Naidu Trophy last year. So I kept playing age group cricket for Karnataka right through under 14. And yeah.
Okay. Just a couple more questions. Little more about your family, like about the support system from your family to your cricket, if you can just share.
So I think they've been huge pillars of support for me, my mom and dad. Um, they've supported me throughout and have been very encouraging in pursuing my passion. They've never told me they've never expected anything of the game. They just asked me to go and express myself and enjoy the game and have fun more than anything. And that is something that I'm really grateful for them for always believing in me and giving me a platform right from the beginning to go and just express my
Okay.
skills and talent.
So, how is Smaran outside of cricket? Like, are you into maybe adventure sports, or is just like you're relaxed, chilled out, mostly at home? So, just can you say a little more about your hobbies or something on those lines?
So mostly at home, not a very so mostly at home. I like to play other sports during my free time. Like to play basketball, a bit of video games as well here and there. And apart from that, I'm a huge nature enthusiast. I would love to go to different wildlife sanctuaries and
Mhm.
visit a lot of mountainous areas. I like trekking as well.
Mhm.
So those are my hobbies, you can say, outside of cricket.
This one I just missed out, so I'm just asking. Was there any cricketer that really inspired you as a young boy, or maybe you were watching him on TV and you felt like, yeah, I want to play like this particular player?
So I think growing up,
Mm.
Kumar Sangakkara and Michael Hussey were two idols
Mm.
and are still idols that I look up to. I didn't try to copy their style or anything. Just loved the way they played their game. Being a left-hander and them also being left-handers, I think I really admired the way, especially Kumar Sangakkara batted. The amount of runs he's gotten everywhere and a legend of the game. I think he's somebody I really looked up to growing up. And even Michael Hussey as well, being a middle order bat, the way he used to finish games for Australia was something that I looked up to.
Okay. Thank you for taking your time.
Thank you,
We'll
sir.
get it published as soon as possible. It
Sure,
was
sir.
a pleasure having you here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for having me.